up, guys? Welcome to another video. Today we're reviewing Moon Knight Episode 1. This is coming out on Wednesday and stars Oscar Isaac as Moon Knight. Now, before we start, hit that like button, subscribe to the post notification bell so you know for every video. Let's just start. Let's start talking about the good. So, Oscar Isaac is very, very good in this episode as Moon Knight. And of course, you have Ethan Hawke, who plays Arthur Harrow. Fantastic. Both those actors and actresses in the film are very, very good. Oscar Isaac, he has 3 different personas. He has Stephen Grant, Mark Spector, and Moon Knight, which I really, really liked what they did with his character in this episode, where you can see that he has these different personality traits, where he's someone that he's basically 3 different people in this episode, which I think is very, very unique, which I'll get to later. The opening sequence is a very good opening sequence. It's basically Arthur Harrow, who's played by Ethan Hawke. He's fixing his sandals, and he has glass shards in them, and it's just very tense and not enjoyable to watch. He's basically walking with glass shards in his shoe, and you hear the crunching of the glass shards, and it's very off-putting because obviously it hurts, and it felt like it was hurting me when I was watching it. So I really, really like that opening sequence. The dream reality sequences are great. I really, really loved what they did with those sequences in this episode because there are a lot of dream sequences, and many dream sequences in films or TV shows do not work very well because most of the time they're over dramatic, but these dream sequences work perfectly. There is a great shift in time dream sequence where it's Mark Spector. He has a gold ball in his hand, and 2 seconds later, there are people dead on the ground with blood around them, and Mark Spector's hands have blood on them, and the truck sequence. That entire sequence is shown in the trailer, but when you see it in the episode, it's very, very well done because you don't know what happened. You have no idea. For me, I had no idea what just happened. He has a gold ball in his hand. 2 seconds later, the people dead on the floor, and then he has blood on his hands. Very, very well done with making you not know too much with this episode because this episode, I'll get to that part later, but some of the stuff in this episode, I have no clue what I just watched. The elevator sequence is great. Sequence from the trailer with the old lady scare scene. I think it worked well because what they do with the character, well, the creepy character with the bird mask on, very weird, very creepy. I didn't think Moon Knight was going to go this far into the horror aspect of the MCU, but it is creepy. There are also great sequences with Egyptian creepy gods, which is the sequence that I was just talking about, but now with Arthur Harrow, who is played by Ethan Hawke. He's basically following Mark Spector, and you just see these weird, the same thing with the people with the masks on, but these tall, creepy, ancient Egyptian masks, very, very creepy. The dynamic between Mark Spector and Arthur Harrow, very, very good. I really, really like their relationship in this episode. Of course, you have Mark Spector played by Oscar Isaac and Arthur Harrow played by Ethan Hawke. Very, very good. And what they do with those 2 characters in this episode, very well done. The museum chase sequences is great. I really, really love the museum chase sequence. It's basically Mark Spector being chased by Egyptian dogs. The CGI was fine. It didn't bother me at all. It was just very, very tense. The lighting for that sequence alone was perfect. It's creepy, but it's also fun at the same time. Mark Spector's just running away from these ancient dogs, and it's a lot of fun. There are also many hilarious sequences, especially Mark Spector talking to the statue. It's basically Oscar Isaac just talking to a random statue, and it was funny. And I'm glad that this episode did not lean too much into the comedy because there are some horror elements in this episode. And the comedy, I like comedy in the MCU, but sometimes, well, many times, they overuse the comedy. And this episode knew exactly when to place the comedy. And that sequence alone is easily one of the funniest moments of the entire episode. The score by Hisham Nazi is great. I really, really like the score. It has that sort of ancient Egyptian sort of score, but also with a creepiness to it. Especially the sequences where he's being chased. Very, very creepy score that enhances the level of that sequence. And the ending sequence I thought was great. It's basically Mark Spector transforming into Moon Knight with his full costume, it is a great ending sequence. I really, really like the costume of Moon Knight. And of course, it's shown in the trailer, but it's awesome. When you actually see Mark Spector with the costume on, fantastic. I really, really liked what they did with the design of the costume because the design of the costume is very unique. I have not seen any costume like this in the MCU. Of course, it's like the other characters. It has that um, superhero comedic um, sort of thing to it, but this costume in particular is very, very unique and very different, which is why I really, really like Moon Knight's costume. That's about it. There's nothing bad about this episode. Moon Knight episode 1 is a fantastic pilot episode. I highly recommend it, and I'm going to give Moon Knight episode 1 an A. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, post notification bell so you can do a favorite video. I'm Peter. Thank you for watching.